Hey, what is up, friends? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Larry and this is Your Own Adventure. In today's video, we'll be talking about tips for training in mountain biking. Maybe you're a beginner, maybe you're intermediate, maybe you're an expert, but maybe you haven't ever tried to train and really push yourself as a rider in a specific training program. Now, I actually got a chance to sit down with a friend of mine who actually runs another channel. It's called XCBEN. His name is Ben, and he's a really cool guy and a good friend of mine now. I'm happy to have met him. He gave some insight to me and other people who might be in a similar situation. Maybe you want to ride faster, maybe you just want to get better on the bike, or maybe you want to race and see where you can push yourself. Well, he has some insight for you, and we're going to sit down with him and learn about what he went through and what you can expect if you're looking to become a better rider and put some training miles in. For myself, I've been training and trying to get better. Maybe I'll be racing next season. I want to do some races this season just to get my toes in the water, and I wouldn't really classify myself as a XC racer or anything. I just like having fun on a bike, and I have a knack for going fast, so why not try some racing? I've been pushing myself every week to get a little bit better, and I've been putting in around 50 base miles a week, which is average. So we'll be talking about that in the video, and if you have any other questions about training or what you should be doing, I could give you a little bit of knowledge just based on my experience starting out and what I've learned so far. And if you have any other questions, go check out Ben's channel. It's called XCBEN. I'll post it down below and put a little pop-up in the corner. You could check it out, and I hope you enjoyed the antics of the interview. It was a really fun day. We went out and we were supposed to ride only like 20 miles. We ended up doing 40, so that's pretty awesome. And then the following week, he actually went out and did like 80 miles. So the guy's no joke. He knows what he's talking about, and he has a lot of insight. And if you want to learn, then just keep watching. It's a fun listen, even if you just want to put it on and listen to it. So I'll see you at the end of the video. Enjoy.
Testing 1 2 5. Hi, I'm Ben. Should I do like my full name? This is my credit card number and my security pin. I don't even know if I've ever done any besides during and after a race. There's this guy in Oasis that always like puts his camera right to my face when I'm not gonna turn around, and he'll just like stare at me, and I'm like, dude, I'm not doing this. He's like, I'm like, all right. Hey guys, my name's Ben Banaski. I have a YouTube channel called XCBEN where I do mountain bike XC racing in South Florida, and then I also do some sweet edits with some freestyle kind of stuff, and I'm just kind of all over the place, I guess, with that. But I enjoy mountain biking, and I'm going to be riding out here with Larry today to learn, or you can probably cut all that out. And we're going to go ahead and I'll go ahead and talk to him a little bit about some of the stuff that I do to train for the races, and what I take with supplements, and
for beginners.
And for beginners, so like if you're starting out mountain biking and you really want to be able to last longer in the trails, not just do one lap and you're done because you can't go further, and you wonder why you can't like the other guys can. There's
that guy's ripping over there.
He's getting crazy. He's stealing the spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you really want to be better and go further, it's all about base miles, and that just means going long distances or longer distances than you used to at a slower pace, and building that base of your pyramid, so then you can go at a higher peak. Because
I was riding maybe 30 miles a week, just hobby riding, you know.
Yeah.
On mostly on weekends, and I could go out and ride 30 miles, but it's not going to be fast or fun.
Right.
But now I'm trying to put in at least 70 a week, which is
reminds me of when I did started, because I remember seeing people. Oh, I've got to talk to the. It reminds me of me, because when I first started getting into more mountain biking, which was like 2.5 years ago, I was doing like 30 to 50 miles a week, and then I just started riding more of the trails and just trying to see if I could go longer by just going a little bit slower. And then it started becoming easier for me. So after about a few weeks, you can see the improvements you're making, and then it just really ups your game on that one day when you just want to go really fast through the trails. You'll know that your power has increased and you're able to just whip through those trails much quicker. And then that's basically how you do it.
So base miles.
Base miles is what it's all about. If you want to go for a longer distance and not, fall apart after a few, miles.
What about for like kind of serious about mountain biking, want to ride really fast on a trail but aren't going to be racing? What would you still suggest, the base miles or? Yes,
definitely, because I think that a lot of the top guys who race or ride are down here, and they train down here. We don't have the downhill like other places and the climbs and stuff, but what we have is we have constant up and down transitioning, and that, in a way, the way it builds those muscles is very much like what you would experience in the mountains. So that's why if you do those kind of base miles and you ride out here a lot down in South Florida or in Florida and then head out into the mountains, you would have that endurance to be able to last as long. Because I've went on mountain bike trips with friends where I've went out to the mountains and they were just blown away, like, dude, you can climb like crazy mounts, and my other friends would be just getting really tired on it. So
would you suggest getting a road bike for people who are wanting to increase their mileage, or just ride your mountain bike?
And I've had this discussion about, do you need a road bike to get better at mountain biking and going the distance and all that? And I believe no, and there are other mountain bikers who don't have road bikes who would say you don't. Though it does help a lot if you don't have a place where you can ride your mountain bike on a flat surface.
Right.
In South Florida, I have a levee, which is a gravel road that has a 27-mile loop, or you can do a one out and back that's like 40 miles. And as long as you're doing some kind of like straightaway for a long period of time where you're just keeping in the same cadence, you're able to build that base mile.
So
no, I think they have a place just like every other. I think gravel bikes are great. They're like the road bike for gravel. So if I were to, I'm so used to riding a mountain bike, and I only have this one bike, so I can't really say. I did say though I would get a cyclocross bike. I was thinking that because that would be really cool to kind of dabble in a different type of sport because it looks fun. And then also there's getting a single speed that I've always thought would be really cool, because that would really train your legs.
Do it.
And because you're so used to changing your gears and going easy gear, when you have to smash that gear to go up a hill, or you have to, like, if you're anticipating a climb, you have to like hurry up and get to it to have that momentum to go up at least half of it and then be able to ride the rest up with that heavy gear. So I think all bikes are just really cool as long as you're being safe. In South Florida, it's not very safe to have a road bike, and that's the main reason why I don't have a road bike.
It's not in Daytona either.
Yeah, there's just no places to ride. Like here, they have that beautiful paved path that goes through the trails, and a lot of the guys that ride out here have road bikes, and they've said that their power has increased, and they've gotten a lot stronger because of it.
This paved path is really cool.
It's beautiful, and I think next month, or starting soon, they start growing blackberries out there, and you can just ride around the paved path and just pull over and just see in the bushes there's some blackberries. You just pick a bunch.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I did that last year.
What's the nutrition like? Like right now, before you ride, is it good or bad to eat something?
I had 2 bananas. I had 2 shots of espresso, and
so you could do the bananas before the ride, huh?
Yeah, I do bananas before a ride.
It's not a big.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. I have a teaspoon of salt in the morning, and then right before I go riding, I have another teaspoon. That really helps with cramps. I mean, if you have a type of body where you get cramps a lot, maybe you're not taking in enough electrolytes or water, which you should have electrolytes with water anyways. You shouldn't just have water. You need something to help with your system. So I take salt, and that has really helped with the cramps.
Really?
I just did the Hammerhead, which was a 50-mile race. I bettered my time from last year by 20 minutes, and this was my third time, and the first 2 times I cramped doing the 50.
20 minutes?
By 20 minutes I beat
wow.
it. So I did it in 4 hours and 6 minutes, and last year was like 4 hours and 30 minutes or something like that.
Wow.
So, because I didn't cramp those, so, and I was flying through the trail. My average speed for that was like 12.8 miles an hour, which is like, I think it was 1 mile per hour faster.
Average mile per hour. How do you bring that up?
Well, I have a Garmin set up, and you can change up what you see on your Garmin. So this will be usually with a GPS. The GPS is cool if you're doing like straight shots, but I have a speed sensor on the rear wheel, which basically every time it rotates once, it does the circumference of the wheel, which then turns into mileage after a certain amount of time. So, but that has to be very calibrated, very specifically, or you're not going to be accurate on it. So what I do, well, we can talk about it in another video, or check out my channel because I have a video on it, how to calibrate your Garmin.
Check out his channel.
Yeah, the link is up here.
I'll put it on your face.
So, yeah, I mean, average miles per hour is just obviously doing the whole ride and then seeing how much your average was for that whole ride, and then you can kind of like gauge how much better you're getting at something. Let's say you do the same trail all the time and your average speed when you first started riding there was 10 miles or 8 miles an hour, and then once you start riding more, you can see it increases, and then you're doing like 12, maybe 13 miles an hour depending on the trail, of course.
Yeah,
but it's fun to see that kind of data to know you are progressing, you are getting better.
So and Strava might help with it?
Strava is a very good tool.
For people who don't want to invest in like a bunch of like Garmin and all the
if you're using, because this links up with my Strava.
Okay.
So it's Bluetooth and it links up with my phone, and then it uploads automatically to Strava. But you can get the app on your phone. The only thing with that again is the Garmin can be very inaccurate because it pings. And then it can make, instead of you going around a turn and getting that distance for the turn, it would delay the time and make a straight line cross because it's sending and receiving information, so it does straight lines instead of accurately always being connected to it, if that makes sense. Do it for the fun, do it for helping people out with the trails, do some trail maintenance, don't just ride the trails all the time in your home trails and think that these trails get taken care of by some people that are paid. They're not. 90% of the time all the trails are being taken care of by volunteers, and if you ride a lot you should be able to volunteer your hours just a little bit just to help out, and it's a good deed and it's good karma, and so
but don't feel pressured either, because
don't feel pressured. Don't
it might take a little while to get into the community of things, like if you're new. It
took me 6 years before I started doing trail work. But I've always seen them and I've wanted to do it, and I just was a little shy.
Sometimes they're a little bit off-putting, like the trail crew. Like sometimes they're not super welcoming.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on the crew, but I could see that. Most of the places that I've worked on with trail guys, they've been pretty cool. I haven't ran into like a weird crowd yet.
No.
But that depends, I guess, on which trail you're at and who's working it. So, I know we have 2 separate trails in South Florida in Markham. We have the trail guys who do the weed whacking and they do all the cleaning of the trails, and then we have a separate, like, smaller crew that builds and loves to do jumps and things like that. Those guys can be a little bit more aggressive and joking around and maybe not too welcoming at first, but they're pretty cool. So it depends. It depends on the crew. And yeah, I mean, I'm usually really shy when I first meet people, so I won't be like how I am now, or how I was with Larry when I had my shot of espresso, and he's like, "What the hell? He's talking so much." I just unloaded Chipotle in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to cut that up then.
No.
Or maybe it's good. It's good footage. It's good stuff. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, that's back to what I was saying, is just have fun with it. Mountain biking is one of those sports that you can do for a very long time. It can keep you fit, and it's just it saved my life, if I could say that. It brought me from being an alcoholic to only riding, and I stopped drinking, and now I'm here, and I feel healthy, and I've lost 40 pounds, and man,
You used to weigh 190?
like 185.
Wow.
185, something like that. Yeah, it went down to 145 last season, so now I'm at 150, 55. So I'm trying to get back to 145. I kind of like let myself go for the last from December on for 3 months. You don't want to be training all year long. It's just too much, and a lot of people do it, but I just can't. Well, thank you guys. Check out my channel, and of course,
what's your channel
make
name?
sure you like this video, and if you haven't subscribed to Your Own Adventure, make sure you hit that button and and the notification bell if you want to see the content as it's being uploaded. Boom!
That was a moneymaker right there.
That's the only thing you need.
I'm sure that you've learned something from that interview. Pretty fun time, and the ride was awesome. He gave a lot of insight with me, and I learned some. I hope that you guys and girls learned some. Everybody who's watching, if you did, please let me know what you're going to be doing with the information that you picked up from this video. If you have any questions or want to discuss any more stuff like this, please let me know. And if you're really interested in cross-country riding and really technical aspects of it, then go check out XCBEN. He's really cool, and he has a lot of insight in that area of mountain biking. So I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to go out there and create your own adventure however you can. Spread some positivity. See you later. Didn't go down low enough.